All right. What's going on, Tycoon? Super excited for today's video. We are going to be taking a look at Wonderland and just going over kind of a brief recap and summary of really what's going on right now with Time Wonderland and just a lot of projects related, to the Frog Nation and Avalanche Phantom, and mim everything. Okay, so this is Wonderland, the defi Wonderland. Currently there's about 700 million still in the treasury balance. Current APY is 82,000%. Okay, this was what was getting people's attention. All right, this 80,000% APY. um and basically, the big deal, okay, is that this guy, Sifu, is the co-founder. All right. He is one of the co-founders of Time Wonderland. All right. And it's recently been exposed. All right. And it's even being reported on Bloomberg. Okay. So, major media is covering this basically. But yeah, so crypto secrecy makes DeFi a financial felon's wonderland. Okay. And that's basically this guy, Michael Patryn. Okay. And he was basically he was convicted. Okay. He pled guilty to conspiracy to commit credit and bank fraud in 2005, and burglary, yada yada yada. Spent 18 months in U.S. federal prison. Right, and then he was later associated with Quadrigacx co-founder Gerald Cotton in the early days of that Canadian exchange, and basically that was a massive fraud that caused at least 130 million dollars in losses for 76,000 investors in Canada and abroad. Now, Patron wasn't accused of any wrongdoing related to Quadriga's collapse, but it was just real shady that he was already convicted and pled guilty to fraud before, and then he was a part of the Quadriga, and somehow managed to get out unscathed. And now we find out that he is the co-founder of Time Wonderland. And basically the treasury is in his control. All right, this anonymous guy, as you see, even now his thing says K-pop idol manager, right? Um, so basically once that was ousted, that was a really, really big deal. Okay. And now Daniele Sestagalli, right? Danielle Sesta, it's kind of what people call him, right? Sesta. He is we're gonna be right here. Okay. This is his Twitter right here. CSO of the Frog Nation. And basically, Frog Nation is a bunch of projects that are, kind of working together, right? DeFi protocols. But yeah, so he kind of runs Time Wonderland as well, and he also runs a lot of other projects, and people like him a lot. He's very public and open, right? So people know who he is, they can see who he is. A lot of people put a lot of trust in, Danielle Sesta, and they trusted him. They never knew that, the guy in charge of the treasury, was basically this scammer and this fraud, right? Now, there's a lot of big news going on recently, okay, because they had a vote basically about whether to end it or not. And it appears at first that Danielle Sesta ignores community vote, announces project's closure. Okay. He announced that the Wonderland experiment is coming to an end. The disgraced DeFi founder took the decision against a community poll, in which the majority of respondents voted to save the project. Right. So that was true. There, I believe it was like a 55% people wanted to save the project and keep it going. And then he said, it's coming to an end. Basically, we failed. It's better to just wash my hands with this project, yada yada yada, is kind of basically how it really took, and kind of seemed. He said, it is clear from the vote that the community is divided. The core and heart of Wonderland is still the community. If we cannot find agreement on whether to continue or not, it means that we failed. Right. And from the beginning, this was all a very big experiment, right? All of this was an experiment. Um, basically from the beginning, they just took a fork. It was Olympus Dow fork, and they threw a really high APY on it, and it was a really nice experiment. But it never really seemed sustainable, in my opinion, long term. Um, I just don't see how I couldn't fathom it. Like, yeah, it seemed like a lot of other things that were too good to be true. And like, yeah, if you can get in and ride the momentum up and then you get out, that's really what a lot of people do with these things. And you can look at the price. If we go to CoinGecko, right? If we look here, started off here in the 700s, okay, came all the way up to almost 10,000, right? This is the price of time. And so time went to like 9,000, peaked at around 9,000, 10,000 in November. And then of course the crypto crash happened, and that caused a lot of fear and just liquidations and things like that. So it dropped really hard, and all this seafood stuff came out, and it's just been really bad. And time is now really really cheap. It's like below 350. So lots of stuff going on there, really, honestly. But anyways, what we're gonna do is we are going to go into I got a thread pulled up somewhere here. I think it was back here. But they are trying to revive it. Okay. This is a constantly updating, basically environment right now. Like this is constantly changing and evolving and moving. Okay. Danielle and Sesta, if we look at this tweet here, Danielle, Sesta, and Sifu's stepping up big, very impressed with Frog Nation and putting the community first. The Frog Nation has a really, really, really strong community. And some people are still trusting sifu, and because they trust in sesta, and they have explained some things. Sifu said here, I'm having a list made of everyone who was liquidated in the cascade last night, as I did during the last one where I was liquidated. Tokens used for buybacks will be used to make liquidation victims whole. Danny and I will not be made whole so as to increase everyone else's share. And then it goes on to say, the people liquidated under us were well under backing price. This was not an issue of taking high risk and losing a gamble. So I mean, at this point, there's a lot of people who have lost trust in them, and have just completely pulled. And then there is a large number of people who still have a lot of faith in them and the Frog Nation as a whole, and want to continue the Time Wonderland project, right? And we can get deeper. We can talk about you know, kind of just like the tokenomics of it, and go into like how it affected mem and all these other things, and really get into abracadabra money and how it's been intertwined with Time Wonderland. If you guys want to see some more stuff like that, or you want some more like, just fresh updates, okay, because a lot of this is coming on Twitter and through the Discord. So, if you guys want me to just keep up with it and let you guys know, because it's really honestly constantly changing and evolving right now, this just kind of just like scene and scenario and what's really going on, as far as Time Wonderland and the future of Frog Nation as a whole. So thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.